Hey everyone, welcome to Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
Jordan.
It's been a while since we've done an episode, but we had to wait to see Endgame.
It seemed like the fair thing to do. 'Cause it was a bit.
There
of
wasn't
an
really
off week.
much before about it, so I guess
And magically, there's a bunch of shit that just went off today.
yeah, some good, some bad, but we'll get to all of that. First off, though, most recently you found a new holiday for us to enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a new spooky holiday, and it's in the middle of fucking right at the end of April.
I mean, I'm not going to complain. It's Witches' Night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Organized in what? Europe, Germany,
Germany,
as most of them do, I guess.
Basically, something that turned into let's burn all the witches turned into like let's just celebrate them for a night.
I like it. I like it.
Well, it only started because I fucking like some meme on Facebook. It's like, oh, because it's summertime, so it's second Halloween or something like that. And I'm like, and I tagged Jess in it, and I was like, you don't need that. Just no other holidays. And then I found that there's Witches' Night, which just happened.
Right.
There's Dracula Day at the end of May. Something like that, right, Jess? Dracula Day, end of May?
Dracula has his own day.
Yep. There's, again, the one I was just talking about earlier.
Right.
Which is like Valentine's Day in New Orleans had a spooky baby.
Spooky Mardi Gras.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
No, I mean like the image for the holiday is like a bunch of like satanic clowns and like witches like on a float just like throwing beads and shit.
Okay, I'm down.
Right?
Yeah. So it's no longer just Spooky Christmas. We have
Spooky all year round.
Spooky all year round. Okay, I'm good with this. In doing so to celebrate Witches' Night, we decided to go to your house and watch Halloween 3.
Season of the Witch. Movie that makes no fucking sense.
Well, I mean, most people at this point will look at Halloween, the franchise, and think, "Oh yeah, it's the same character over and over again."
Yeah, because it was meant to be that way.
It wasn't meant to. Remember, we talked about that. How
No, that's how I meant. Like it was meant to be. Like it was something different every time.
Right, and instead, as soon as Halloween 3 came out, pretty much.
Well, technically, Halloween was supposed to be one and done. It was Halloween 1, and that was it. And it was supposed to lead into a series of holiday-themed horror movies.
Okay.
So that's why technically Black Christmas is an unofficial prequel to Halloween.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because technically it was supposed to be like a different one, and then it shifted into just a series of movies, of shit that goes down on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we got Michael Myers on Halloween. And then when they had to edit it to make it for TV, they added certain scenes, but that left it open-ended. So then they made Halloween 2 to be like, cool, here's our story, we're done.
We're done, that's it.
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, is our new story based around Halloween. This is going to have witches and weird shit that makes no sense.
I swear that goddamn theme song ringtone for that fake company
Justice new ringtone for
is
Silver
now.
Shamrock.
Oh god, it
You
is
get to wake up to that
so aggravating. I was perfectly fine waking up to, but now I have to hear demonic little children trying to sing along to Shamrock.
Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
No, it's bad. It's bad. But the movie itself has,
It's bad.
It has some funny moments.
Has some charm to it.
In terms of it's so bad it's good.
Yeah.
It's entertaining at that point. So, but then of course, like you said, 4 on, they just went right back and said do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, from 4, 5, and 6, it was like a weird story arc that just continued off of 1 and 2, and they're like, whoops, this has Paul Rudd killing him because of a Celtic curse. So they went back, and then we got Jamie Lee Curtis coming back because she was fucking done. That's why she never really showed up again. Like technically, the character Laurie Strode died in that timeline.
Right.
And the other one, she came back, and she had her son, Josh Hartnett. He was in fucking school for some reason. And then the continuation after that is Laurie Strode dies again, except this time Coolio, I think it was Coolio, has like a weird like Ghost Hunters TV show.
We're not talking about the remakes that were done by Rob Zombie.
Nope, this is before those.
That's all before those.
Halloween Resurrection and then Halloween H2O was the second spinoff.
Right.
The first one continues on where it's like Halloween 4, The Curse of Michael Myers.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, The Return, and I think it's The Curse. And then there's the Rob Zombie one, which is Halloween, then Halloween 2.
Right.
And then we got the newest one, which is just only acknowledges like most of 1 and not really 2.
No, this is supposed to be like take place after
2?
1. Like it almost like acts like I think
That's insane. It acts like 2 never happened.
two on never happened.
Two on from which direction?
Okay, good point.
If you follow that timeline, it legitimately goes Halloween 1, 2, 3's way the fuck over here because no one gave a shit.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6, nope, 7, 8. Then there's 9 and 10.
I mean, if you want to start talking timeline
reboots.
differences and whatnot, we can get into Endgame, but we'll get to that in a little bit.
Fair enough.
That I had to dive into a hell of a lot.
But
But
yes.
anyways, to tie in with
Cocktail.
all of this, what is a drink that looks like a boozy
It's
ecto cooler?
Yeah, it's almost what it tastes like. It's just called a witch's brew. It's orange juice, Midori, and vodka, and a little bit of club soda. The original recipe wasn't strong enough, so I
Added a little more.
heavy-handed.
It's fine for me. I'm tasty. I like it. But we'll be sipping on that throughout the episode. We have a lot to get through, so let's just start jumping through some more conversation starters. This morning, the reservations opened up for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge and closed less than 2 hours later. For the entire month from May 31st through June 23rd, you could get a reservation to go see the new Star Wars land when it opened up. This early premiere, whatever you want to call it at that point. They already stated that you're going to have to be there only in small chunks. You won't be there for the whole day. You will only have one of the 2 rides open, so it's almost like an out-of-town preview, even though it's a centralized.
It is
yeah,
what it is.
yeah. But I'm thankful that we were able to get some reservation
got 2
for that.
separate reservations.
I had to go check
You
it out.
legit fucker, you sent us a Snapchat of like 6 different computer monitors, some crap like that, and just while you going down, refresh.
Oh no, I'm very thankful that their setup for this time around is not the usual like it's 10 o'clock, start refreshing on everything. It's literally like go to the site. This is your spot in line. Do not refresh or you get kicked to the end of the line.
That's fair.
So I just opened them all up, did my job, and then one by one I started seeing go pop, pop, pop. Okay, I better start working on this.
Yeah.
So, but we got in and we're gonna go check it out. The limitations for this is basically you have a 4-hour time slot on a certain day.
I'll be at the bar.
Yes. Within that 4 hours, you should be able to.
I'll be at the bar.
We'll also go do the Millennium Falcon ride. Come on, it'll be fun.
Everyone's gonna be fighting for that goddamn thing.
Well, the whole thing is that we'll have enough time to go do that, as well as go to the bar and check everything else out. Don't worry, I won't drag you along to grab all the shopping stuff and whatnot.
Yeah, most of the shopping shit I don't really care about.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll just go to the bar and we'll have fun with that.
Unless they want to bring back the goddamn Infinity Churros.
He's so pissed off about this because you just came across this like
Lauren did.
2 days ago.
Yeah, our buddy Lauren did.
That you saw someone holding up a plastic Infinity Gauntlet, but it had 6 colored churros in it. And you're like, wait a minute, what is this? As we found out, it was a special thing that they did for one of those Disneyland
California
After Dark
Adventure.
thing for Heroes Assemble or whatever they want. It's Marvel Night, basically. You can basically go there and you spend an extra $100 to go to see this thing. Bunch of meet and greets and whatnot you can do. But in doing so, you can also purchase that Thanos glove, which actually was also a drink holder and mug. And then they had 6 Infinity Churros. And to me, when I first saw them, I went, "Oh, they're just color coded. They're nothing tasted." And then
Yeah,
you read the
I
article.
Read the actual article. It's like, no.
Oh no, there's like
which one was
cherry and lime and lemon and
cherry, lemon, lime, sour apple, boysenberry,
yeah.
blackberry, and blue raspberry. I think was the other one.
But also it's all covered in rock candy as well.
Well, it's the flavored rock candy.
Yeah. So it's one of those. Oh wow, that would have been.
I could have eaten
cool.
all of them and basically looked like Thanos when he put on the glove. Just that, just veins bulging out of my neck.
But instead of the power, it's just the sugar rush.
Just run up and like punch the dude in an Iron Man suit who's just trying to take photos with kids. You Stark. Team Cap, motherfucker.
Oh well. But we missed out on all that, so we'll have to
But
see.
Star Wars reservations.
Yeah, Star Wars
when
is
we do
gone.
that, we'll definitely come back and start talking about that once we have more news. Jason can geek out about all the tech, and then I'll sit there and talk about how I got plastered.
I think it's a fair cover.
We each have our areas of expertise.
Yeah, there you go. We have to. Speaking of Star Wars, we do have some sad news. Just happened today as we were recording this. Peter Mayhew has been reported to have passed.
Chewie?
Yeah, at the age of 74. According to the reports.
Which, by celebrity age, that's not bad.
No, it's not.
By normal people age,
Well,
Yeah.
even for his height,
Yeah, when you're a tall dude, like your life expectancy is like shorter by
drops down. He beat the average by like what 30 years or something like that, and he had an amazing life.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from getting the role for Chewbacca and whatnot, he kind of just rolled with it. Now, you always have some actors who will go, yeah, I enjoy playing this character, but I do not want to be pigeonholed as that character.
No,
He was just like, I'm fucking Chewbacca. What do you care?
he's like, I'm Chewie.
Yeah, he goes around to all the different
Anyone he
conventions. He would talk with everybody. He started his own foundation where he was helping out individuals, families, different charities, and every single one that his foundation supported, he actually personally got involved. He was always very kind to everybody. He was always humble, I would say. He was like, this is amazing. I'm going to enjoy this with all of you, just like you're enjoying, it with me. And
he basically has how most sci-fi celebrities were, but the entire time. Like, look at Shatner or Adam West. Like, I hated this thing that pigeonholed me. It's like, bitch, that's what you were.
Right. And of course, all of the
tributes
are coming in from. You have some Harrison Ford, and of course Mark Hamill. Billy D. Williams posted a few pictures as well. The actor who came in to take over the role
kid that's like even taller than him.
Jonas Saltom or something like that. Jonas, I forget how you say his name.
Jonas.
He posted something, and you got to imagine though, before he was brought in, no one really thought who the hell's going to replace Peter Mayhew as Chewbacca. But in all these interviews, Peter was basically saying that he actually took the time to talk about, like, what do you have to do? How do you walk with this? What are the reasons why you do this snarl, or how do you look this way? And like fully embodied it.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing work. I think the torch was passed very well with that. It's still very sad that we don't have the original anymore. So, yeah.
Cheers, Chewie.
Yeah. I'm sure they're having quite a joke out in space with Carrie Fisher.
One can hope.
And I'm sure there'll be more memoirs and whatnot. They're actually, in the official announcement, they stated that there was going to be a private service in July. So there's going to be a public service at a convention in LA this December. So if you wanted to
pay your respects,
you can just go to Peter Mayhew's what's it called, Twitter account, which is like the Wookiee Roars. At the Wookiee Wars, Roars, and you get all the information right there. So I'm sure everyone has a story about Peter Mayhew, or how you enjoyed Chewbacca, or had some random story about meeting him at a convention. Share them, pass it around, not just with us, but just everybody else, because he was a great man, did a great role, and he embraced who he was, and sad that he's gone.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to some trailers, shall we? Godzilla's almost here. Godzilla is almost here. Cannot wait for this. So this, the final Godzilla trailer before the movie comes out May 31st, was released about a week ago. What was the song that they used for this one? I just drew a blank on that.
But that wasn't like Over the Rainbow?
Yeah, I think it was Somewhere Over the Rainbow. It was some Wizard of Oz thing. Which kind of makes sense with what you're expecting with all of this. Especially,
there's no Claire de Lune.
You can only use that so many times before it becomes something cliche at that point.
Like Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
When's the last time you heard Somewhere Over the Rainbow being used in this situation?
Pretty much anytime you go to anywhere that's either Polynesian or Hawaiian and themed.
Really? I don't remember hearing that at all.
You will always hear Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Remember? Because there was like the weird dude.
That version.
You didn't specify, motherfucker.
Okay, fine. I stand corrected at that point.
I'm sorry. When was the last time you heard Somewhere Over the Rainbow? A slow orchestral version. Fucking never.
There you go. I should be clearer on that.
Smart ass. You know I'm gonna find a way to cheat around.
You always do so. But anyways, yes, Godzilla King of the Monsters is coming up May 31st. It looks fucking awesome. I'm hoping it lives up to the hype. Please be good. Please be good. Please be good.
Look, man, they can't fool us again with Bryan Cranston, and bait and switch us with Aaron Taylor Johnson, that piece of shit. I still have no idea how that guy gets work.
I mean, if he dies, you'll be like, and okay, move on. If Ken Watanabe dies, I'll be sad, but
who's gonna say the weird, like, creepy line?
Let them fight.
No,
No,
we
no,
will
no.
be his.
We're his pet. It doesn't matter. The human stuff we don't worry about. We just want the goddamn monsters. We want the kaiju. Come on.
Bradley Whitford. Oh my God, Zilla. Really, dude?
I forgot that was a thing. God damn it.
Nope.
Speaking of more ridiculous stuff, Hobbs and Shaw. This spin-off of the Fast and Furious franchise just looks absolutely batshit crazy from the first trailer. The second trailer came out, and it starts talking mainly about the villain, who's played by Idris Elba, who is beefed up either by cybernetics or he's injected with something. But
Evil
he basically
Black Captain America.
But he basically goes around in the trailer and is like, call me Black Superman. And it's just him just chasing and beating the shit out of Hobbs and Shaw.
I can't be Bond, so I'm just gonna be this villain that's just gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Which again, let's not forget about Bond. They announced that old Rami Malek is gonna be the villain for it.
Yeah, I'm kind of fine with that, though. I think he could put an interesting take to it. Blofeld was a nice throwback.
Christoph Waltz did it well.
I think he did a fantastic job. I would love to have seen where they were going to go with that, but if they're not going to continue that stuff, that path.
I mean, it's fine, but...
Plus, also, I mean, this is Daniel Craig's last outing as Bond, so...
Been done with him for like 3 movies.
Yeah, some of those movies, like Quantum of Solace, that was not a good one. Anyways, but I had to laugh.
Don't bite the hand that feeds.
Huh?
How many times has Daniel Craig been like, oh, fuck, I hate Bond. I never want to do this again. These movies were shit. Really? What else are you doing besides Bond, fucker?
He has a
And
couple
don't say
indie
Star
shit.
Wars.
No,
Oh,
that
really? You're gonna say Lucky Logan?
that tiny little thing?
Just because you fucking like Adam Driver?
Yeah, I know, I'm weird. Anyways.
No, you're wrong. Not weird. You're wrong.
Weird. Anyways. I do
I'm
like the
weird.
fact that Dwayne Johnson basically made it a point that within Hobbs and Shaw that he goes back to see his family, and he actually was able to get a haka going on in there. Of course, the whole part of let's get all the weapons, and they're all replaced by ancient, handheld bats and swords and whatnot. He's like, we'll make it work.
Yeah.
It looks fun. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be a great popcorn flick, hopefully.
He's got to turn into a full-blown action star. He's got Dave Bautista coming out on his family-friendly comedy area.
Yeah, that was weird to see, like 2 different movies of like almost the same style coming out for him. I mean, strike while the iron's hot, and more power to him for getting the money and getting paid. But I wonder though.
That was the worst part. That was probably Jessica's favorite part of seeing Hellboy, which is the trailer with Dave Bautista.
Yeah.
The
All
last
right.
trailer we should talk about.
Let's talk about Sonic,
Sonic.
shall we?
Sonic. Again, I didn't hate the design. I didn't think it was great.
I did. I was not a fan of this design. Even from when they had the first teaser motion poster, just showing the outline of him, we're like, he has human defined legs. What the
They were a
fuck
bit
is this?
beefy, and they toned that down for this.
They did, but then you get to that face, and it did not. Let's be fair, or be kind. It did not sit well with many viewers.
No.
To the point that there were many artists out there who decided, you know what, I'm going to take some of these screen caps and actually fix how Sonic should look like closer to what
Let's
the
go
video
one
games
beyond
are.
that. The director came out today
That's what I was getting to.
and said, no, don't worry, we're going to redesign the fucking thing.
Yeah. Your response is loud and clear. We're going to massively we're going to change the way he looks before the final cut. Here's the thing, though. That takes a lot of effort and time, and more importantly, money to do so. They're not, according to everything, he wants to make the changes for it, but they're not pushing back the release date. And I highly doubt they're turning around.
If they were already still working on it, though?
Well, of course, at this point, they're always still working on it, but there was definitely some parts of it, like the teeth, and of course, people have problems with the eyes. It just all looks off. It doesn't sit well. Now, granted, you're never going to appease the hardcore fans, and honestly, who's a hardcore Sonic the Hedgehog fan at this point?
Gotta go fast, Jason.
Got faster. Anyways.
Chili dogs. If they're not sponsored by Wiener Schnitzel, I'm gonna be pissed. Or who? I don't know anyone else.
That'd be a
who's chili
bad
dogs,
marketing mishap. Anyways. But for them to go out and say we're going to change this to be before the movie comes out, why did they have such a drastic change from the video game version in the first place.
It's supposed to be more realistic. Sonic does not look realistic. He technically has one eyeball with 2 pupils.
Right, and this one just does not have those same features and just looks like a bad
I mean, the more I look at it, he
rip-off.
does look like a blue version of that kid from Jumanji when he became like Dog Boy.
Just spray paint him blue and have him run around. Well, Sonic aside, within the trailer, we see Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik.
I was like, oh, we're doing this again.
Seeing him as an unhinged version of Robotnik, I think could be good.
I saw The Grinch and it made me die.
Okay. He can't be revived, coming back from that.
And that's all he does now.
Going just too far out there at that point.
Which at this point, it's like, are you even acting? We've seen him go on some rants on Twitter and shit.
That is true in his random paintings and. Oh well. So you're not looking forward to this film at all?
No, I'm cool about John Ralphio.
I had no problem with him
Ben Schwartz is
voicing
the voice of Sonic.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
He's no Jaleel White.
I mean, what's that guy doing nowadays?
Probably still trying to get Big Fat Liar 2 off the ground.
Let's get to our top story this week, which we have 2 major reviews. One that was 8 seasons in the making, and another one that was 10, 11 years in the making.
11 years, because today was the 11th anniversary of Iron Man 1.
Right.
In addition to that, it's the culmination of 21 movies?
Yeah, this is the 22nd movie in the franchise.
22.
This is the 22nd movie.
22 would have been Captain Marvel.
Was it? I will figure it out. I trust you on that.
I know. Remember, I fucking watched all of them in like 3 days.
Yes, you did. Anyways, we're talking about Avengers Endgame. This movie clocked in at just a minute over 3 hours long, and it features pretty much everybody from every movie that they've made since the original Iron Man.
So I have to ask how you think about it today, because I kept seeing all the memes about, Doctor Strange, where it's like he saw all the different outcomes, and there's only one that actually worked.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that means he actually saw an outcome where Ant-Man went up Thanos' butt?
God, that went everywhere. Even in late night interviews, they actually brought up
the one that I know of. Yeah,
it was like, there's this one thing that
He's
your
like,
character may do. Yeah. They went.
But I mean, if you even want to count that, because that is Graham Norton.
Yeah, that's true.
Graham Norton's already known for like asking weird ass questions.
Jimmy Kimmel asked the same thing as well, I believe.
Did he?
Yeah. So with this movie, there was a lot for them to cover. There was a lot for them to tie up in terms of stories. They focused on the main 6 Avengers, which is a good thing.
Plus Ant-Man.
He had an integral part with all of this.
I like that Marvel showed up and then fucked off for most of the movie. The way I would have preferred it.
And I was fine with that because
For one little line of dialogue, Earth has you guys. There's thousands of a planet where you don't. You.
By the way, yes,
It was
obviously
self-important.
shitloads of spoilers in all these reviews. So if you haven't seen it yet, Marvel themselves have put a cutoff date of next Monday before they start revealing or talking about spoilers and whatnot. So fuck it, it's already that close anyways. I was fine with Marvel not being in as much.
Me too.
It's the
That's him saying. I enjoyed it.
It's the Superman problem. Someone who is basically unbeatable at this point has
You bragged about how she was a god, and then she's not even in the fucking movie for most of it.
Yeah.
She shows up at the very end, still doesn't really do much.
But she doesn't. But that's the thing, though. You have to use her sparingly because if you just kept her in the movie
No one
permanently,
likes Brie Larson.
the movie would have been over in like 20 minutes.
No one likes Brie Larson.
I had no problem with her as Captain Marvel. Her conduct outside of it—that's a whole other story. But anyways,
Same.
not gonna try to do a recap of the film. That would just take too long. You guys will probably already seen it yourselves, so you don't need to hear us recap it. Just our thoughts about certain sections of it.
America's ass.
The memes that are going to come out of this movie are going to be goddamn ridiculous. For example, that is America's ass.
That's my favorite one. I ain't even getting it.
That's
It's
going to be
yeah,
fun.
that's a good one.
The action was a bit CG heavy, but in that aspect, especially in that final huge battle, kind of can't get away from that at that point. At least they had the battle focus on certain sections, not just like, let's have a 20-minute battle of just random shots of people beating the crap out of each other, and that's it.
Well, I think the important thing is they threw a lot of cool, like, comic book Easter eggs.
Right.
Like, we got to see Cat wield Mjolnir.
Yep. That was a really, really cool scene.
We got to see Captain America say Hail Hydra.
Yep. Finally said also Avengers Assemble in its entirety. We saw Iron Man in his peak Iron Man-ness, I guess. You know, he's going to save everyone. I am Iron Man. And then all that
Captain
stuff.
America is the best part of this movie. Just like he's the best Avenger. Just throwing that out there. Tony Stark isn't great.
I'm partial to Tony Stark. What's your problem then?
Team Cap.
All right. We had the same conversation when Civil War came out too.
Did we?
Yes, we did.
My guy wasn't a war profiteering piece of shit, so.
He turned it around.
To make a profit.
No, and then save stuff and move around and.
Also, they killed my Ginger Beauty. They killed Black Widow.
Okay. Before we get into that, let's talk about the whole time travel aspect of this whole thing. Story-wise, it made sense. Entertainment-wise, it was a great way for them to, like, I wouldn't want to say, like, let's revisit our hits, because Thor: The Dark World was not a hit.
Better than Iron Man 3.
I'll give you that. Yeah, that was.
Which that's another thing that's been pissing me off. Like, I've been seeing all over the internet, like, we ranked all the Marvel movies.
Oh, don't watch. I never read that clickbait shit.
But I keep getting sent them. Like, Jordan, is this accurate? No. What do you mean? A lot of these movies are shit.
It's just because random coworkers and friends are just like, I value your thoughts more than on all.
And they
of
like
this.
seeing me get pissed off. They like seeing me get riled up.
That is true. When you get riled up, you go on some amazing tangents.
Even while sober. But anyways.
With the time travel aspect, though, we can easily dive into the whole part of alternate timelines, multiverse stuff. I went fairly deep into that since we've watched it to try to piece together where everything out. Did a whole flow chart because I was like, okay, this part went here, this part went here. What happened if we did this? What if you put the stone back here?
You have to assume if generally I'm partial to the theory that time is linear instead of cyclical. So, I mean, granted,
yes.
At this point we're just stuck in a giant difference of timelines.
Well, yes and no. I will say this. Recently, at one of the screenings in China, there was the Russos were there, and they actually took a bunch of questions, and they were answering a bunch of questions people had regarding some of these loopholes regarding the time jumps or the time heist, as they called it.
I'm hoping that was a Doctor Who reference.
No, it was not. Would have been great because he had his own time heist, but that was.
Why not? They mentioned pretty much everything else. Remember, and technically in the MCU, both Bucky and the guy who plays Bucky exist in the same universe. Remember, Bucky was in Hot Tub Time Machine.
That's true. And of course, as we're sitting here, I realized I did not bring up that link for it, but I'll try to remember what it was all
A link of
regarding. Regarding the Russos' answers to a bunch of questions about there, regarding the time jumps and how it all goes through and whatnot. What I do remember, though, is the whole thing about Captain America, because at the end of it, they snap and Thanos disappears along with his army. They send Cap back to return all the stones at the exact moment that they were picked up in order to prevent anything that, and he should be right back. So according to the Russos, he did all of that, and the moment after all of that, he decided he wanted to try some of that life, like he stated. So he zapped back to the early 1940s, met up with Peggy Carter, and had a full life. Now, that full life was, when he jumped back to do all of that, was a separate time stream. Because everything he does in there would drastically affect everything you have here in this timeline.
Yet he still met up with them at that same time.
Getting to that point. He was saying, yeah, he probably stayed away for as much as he could, but this is Cap we're talking about. He probably saved some people. He probably did some stuff. Because Cap is Cap. He's not going to let innocents, get killed or anything like
Meet up
that.
with his niece.
Yeah,
Grandniece.
that was weird. But then again, we've seen it also more so in Star Wars, so we were
That's
all
like
fine
Game
with
of
that.
Thrones.
And Game of
No,
Thrones
no.
too.
There's a difference between like a kiss when you're about to die and it's like, no.
Hi, Auntie.
While your friends hang out in the car, it's like, get it.
But so after all of that, he had his life. He had he unfortunately had to bury Peggy. He decided at that point he lived his life. He was fine. So he decided to use the time, change device thing.
Quantum.
One more time to
The
jump.
quantum leap. To one day jump back to his own time.
Yes.
Hoping his next leap will be his last.
But he jumps back to the original timeline and just off to the side and waits for them, to spot him and whatnot. Which is why he has an actual full shield, because in the main timeline, Cap's shield was basically broken half by Thanos with his giant blade, double-edged blade that he turned into the copter. They had to throw something in there to look like the fucking Thanos copter.
That's reasons.
Yeah. Internet is a weird thing. But before we get into where this all leads up to, what did you think of this film?
It was alright.
Nothing.
Give it like a solid B, B+.
Really? All right. I give it a solid A. I'll give it an A- just because of a lot of the loose ends that were not tied up as well as I was hoping for. But in terms of...
Well, it's time travel. The Russo brothers said this. Eat a dick.
I want continuity. I want something to go along with all of that. Excuse me. I'll go through all of it, and I enjoyed all of that. The fact that I went home and actually started drawing out, like, this happened here and what timeline happened here, I enjoy that. So I was good with all of that.
I would like to go to bed with the hot ginger bouncing on my balls. But some of us don't exactly get that. Sorry, Drea. Sorry, I kind of have to keep mentioning it as a joke. I don't think she watches these anyway.
Yeah, that's...
She does, actually. She's told me, she goes, sometimes I'm having a bad day. I like hearing your voice. I'll watch the episodes.
Oh, God, I am so sorry.
I just created a fight. Anyways,
editor Jason, do not cut this out. Anyways, I give it an A-. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoyed the action sequences. I love the comedy and the humor he put in there. And yes, I will fully admit, I did cry multiple times in this film. Yes, they were all manly tears. Thank you, my love. Yeah, I know. She probably just flipped me off. Anyways,
she called you a bitch.
Whatever. It's the same difference. The whole Iron Man sacrifice, it made perfect sense. The hero's funeral they basically gave to him at the end, I was perfectly fine with. I enjoyed that. It was powerful. It was moving. I had to laugh with Thor giving up and basically going beyond dad bod Thor, just like...
Told you. This is the greatest moment in equality.
So now there's actually an Avenger that I can cosplay?
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I'm fine with that. In terms of effects, fantastic. I enjoyed it. In terms of music, Alan Silvestri nailed it out of the park. There was plenty of scenes that he was just written so perfectly for those moments. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. You were just like, hey, it's okay. Okay, that's fine.
I enjoyed it.
Nothing bad stuck out to you?
I got more Black Widow. To me, the music was basically the same. Just loud, epic tones. I mean, I'm pretty cold and dead inside, despite, my large bouts of sarcasm here on the show.
I keep on trying.
Ant-Man was a delightful addition.
Yeah.
Got to see him actually play fully with the Avengers for once.
Yeah.
As opposed to just a few minutes here and there.
Not just here and there off to the side and asking for orange slices.
Yeah. I mean, that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul Rudd's always delightful.
He is.
I mean, I would rather watch, a 90-minute buddy cop movie if it was just like Captain America and Ant-Man. I'd watch that.
That could be entertaining.
Just Steve and Scott Lang bombing around doing shit. Just Scott, like, some doughy-eyed, like, Cap.
Okay, we'll see what happens. All this, I mean, it's already grossed $1.7 billion worldwide. It's broken a ton of records. It will
Coming
most
for you,
likely
Avatar.
it'll most likely topple Avatar, which is it currently has the record of
2.4?
2.77 billion
Is that there was only
dollars
2.4?
worldwide. 2.77. And all the forecasters are predicting that it's going to get that probably in about 3 weeks. So we'll see what happens
The
with
only
that.
other thing it needs to topple is, I don't remember. I want to say it was a Star Wars movie
The Force Awakens.
with the 900 million domestic.
Yes, $937 million domestic. Currently, it's at a little over $500 million right now.
Yeah, it's at
And
5
it's
or 6.
not even to its second weekend yet. Yeah. It'll crack all the records. You can follow them up. The website I use is boxofficemojo.com, and you can see where you can see where that's going to go at that point. It's still holding steady at 96% in Rotten Tomatoes. I'll probably go see it again and just add to that total. Just hope I don't get measles.
You do you.
Yeah. Let's talk about Game of Thrones. So we finally had the Battle of Winterfell. This is basically all the White Walkers you have against the remainder of the.
Anticlimactic as fuck.
Kind of really was.
Just throwing it out there. To me, the Battle of the Bastards was more exciting to watch.
I'll agree with you with that. That was a lot more entertaining to watch. This one, something that's been foretold
Built
and
up
talked
for
about
8 seasons.
since the first fucking episode, and thinking like, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be huge, and it's over in a single episode. And
Well, it was an hour and a half long episode. You can only have fighting for so long.
true, but
I mean, it gave us some cool shit.
there
But I
were
mean, what I
some
can tell you,
cool scenes.
The best scene in the entire movie, or not movie, the entire episode, was where Clegane realizes his murder baby's in
Murder
trouble.
baby's in trouble.
And he's like, all right, let me snap out of my fear of fire, and he'll wreck shit.
There was a lot of scenes of the whites coming against.
Can't call him that as racist.
Yes, I can.
Caucasian.
Whites.
European.
WIGHTS. God, I hate you so much. Anyways, when the whites start attacking Winterfell, it is not like an organized thing. It's literally a sea of bodies coming in, and when you could
that I
see
wish
it,
I could see it.
when you could see it, it looked fucking awesome.
Being
Some of
Jason,
those
if you
scenes were-
watched it in a theater, you would totally understand.
Yeah, I have problems with this. So, as many of you do as well, this movie, or
See, you're doing it now.
This episode was incredibly dark. Not in terms of tone, even though that was entertaining, but in just view. The visibility was so low, and it didn't help the fact that there were several moments that it's supposed to be dark. You can barely see your enemy. And then they throw a goddamn snowstorm in the mix of
And
all
you
that
know
as
what?
well.
You know what? The milfy redhead saved the day by giving some decent lighting.
She saved Winterfell and the viewers.
And then they murdered her.
She killed herself.
She died.
She took off her,
Whatever.
clasp of power, and then she aged rapidly or snapped like in Thanos, or... Yeah.
I lost 2 redheads in one weekend, Jason.
The hurt,
It does.
you'll get over it.
Yeah, you're about right.
Yeah.
Is it wrong that I was talking to my buddy Craig, who is ginger, and I asked him, it's like, so let me ask, does it seem a little unfair that, in Endgame, they tossed a redhead off the cliff for a soul stone? Technically, shouldn't that plan have backfired?
Deaths. We had about, 5 deaths?
I think so.
But you pretty much called most of them, didn't you?
Kinda. Because again, I already had a very strong feeling about one. Because I was on Facebook and it's like, guess what happens to this character? And I'm like, God damn it.
Well, because there was There was, Graham, there was Barrack, there was Melisandre the witch.
Yeah, I called Melisandre. The
Theon.
second she showed up, because they kept saying, the next time you see me, I'll be dead. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah,
Um,
massive foretelling.
and then Barrack, because they kept talking about how he was going to die. How if he dies, it's going to be permanent for him now since his priest is dead.
19 times.
Yeah. Jorah, because he had that speech. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, they gave him a lot of screen time early on before the
But
battle.
I only was able to call it because of that. And then, why am I blanking on his name? Alfie Allen.
Theon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Theon, because again, they kept building up like, oh, he's becoming a character again. It's like, oh, this is his point.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna protect
Yeah.
Bran, waiting for the Night King to show up. Can we say how useless as fuck Bran was in this one? All is to come to pass. Thank you. You are a good man. No, you just sat there because you think you're all knowing. It's like I'm gonna let all
he
people.
is all knowing.
But he's gonna just let people die around him without trying to
Again, I
make a reason
think
for
there's
it.
going to be more of a payoff for that.
I really hope so. There's only 3 episodes left. But then let's talk about how the Night King was defeated and how all the people in Winterfell were
Arya
saved.
pulling the same move she did on Brienne.
Yes. Grabbed it, drop, grab, stab.
Mm-hmm.
There are people out there who have been claiming for a while that she's, there was no other way Arya was going to be the one that was going to defeat it. I'm like, no. I wanted a giant fucking one-on-one battle between Jon Snow and the Night King.
We always wanted.
It would have been amazing. And we almost got that till the Night King went, I'm just going to bring all these more people back and you can't do anything about it. Like, fuck.
Fucking hacks.
Yeah. And how there's other articles out there that are stating that, oh, they foretold Arya taking on the Night King and defeating him 3 seasons ago. The only thing I can remember is the dagger was given to her by Bran
last season.
Right. And that's as far back I could think of, so he obviously knew what was going to happen, but couldn't say anything at that point. But
the whole episode
literally,
was kind of disappointing.
he died so easily and took out everything so fast.
And they kept, fire can kill it. No, fire didn't do shit. He had that creepy smirk. It was the only time I ever saw him
Having this work, I enjoyed that. I had laughed at that. But Danny was dumb to go Dracarys, thinking that Dragonfire will defeat him, and 30 seconds straight of just Dragonfire on him.
Didn't even burn his clothes.
That
made no sense.
Magic.
Even his clothes, even her clothes burn.
That's true.
Okay, I want to see White Walker cock. I mean, I didn't want to, but I was expecting it.
Yeah.
I want to know if it's got frostbite. Is it all there? Is it smooth like a Ken doll?
Can we talk real quick about how useless Sam was in this?
No, no, that was the other death. The other guy from the wall.
Ed.
And I'm like, oh, Ed.
Yeah.
Ed's gonna fucking bite it because he called that Sam was useless, and Sam was being useless.
And he saved Ed, and in doing so, got himself killed and stabbed him
It
in
didn't
the back.
help that Jess is like, he's gonna get everyone killed. I'm like, oh god damn it, he's gonna get that guy killed.
Yep. Why the fuck was Sam not in the crypts? Because all he did was shuffle his way everywhere, saying that I was the first to kill a White Walker. I stole all these books from the Citadel.
You stole some books from the library, you nerd. That doesn't make you a great fighter.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens with all of this.
And clear out some grayscale, which
yeah.
essentially is Westerosi herpes.
Yeah, essentially. So we can both agree this was kind of a letdown in terms of this massively hyped battle. We have 3 episodes left in the entire series.
Yeah, but it's like 2.5, 3 hours, about 3.5, 4 hours worth though.
We better have Clegane Bowl somewhere in there. I want that battle to happen. And real quick, who do you think needs to be on the throne at the end?
Tyrion. I honestly don't know, but that'd be cool to see.
I could think that'd be cool. I think Sansa. We'll have to see with that. Or as the internet's been saying, we want to see Ghost.
The goodest of boys.
Yes.
I just want to see him run up, do like a couple circles while sit on the chair on the throne, and just like scooting down, getting comfortable, and just putting his head down, and finally like taking a nap.
I like it, but we won't see it because it's too dark. Because the Game of Thrones cinematographer keeps on saying, "It's just your TV settings. You didn't do it well enough for the true movie effect." I'm not in a movie theater. I'm at home on a $250 TV using a streaming service that HBO purposely limits its bit rate to be able to stream it to more people, and it limits your compression and it's a bad reasoning for it all. Now, if I have no doubts that if we watched this episode in a movie theater, it would have looked fantastic.
Probably. That wasn't
an
option.
But we didn't. So
like, it wasn't even an option.
No, it was not. Let's get through some quick hits real quick. Starting with Ron Howard is in the talks right now with Disney to direct a sequel to Willow for the upcoming Disney Plus streaming service. Who asked for this?
The little dude that played Willow, he needs the work.
Uh,
Them Harry Potter movies
okay,
have wrapped.
does Warwick Davis really need the money at this point?
Yeah.
Does he really?
For the little guy, how much blow do you think he does? So much blow.
I mean, I can't doubt that, but
I'm told he's got a real problem. He's got a real problem for the ladies.
so I can't remember the last time I actually even watched Willow. So
Still at Buffalo.
we're talking like 6-7 years ago.
Yeah, a girl. I'd never seen it. I only saw it the one time.
Oh wow.
The girl I was seeing, she said she really, really liked it. So I went and tracked it down, and I watched it. I'm like, wow, this is really bad.
What do the bones say?
And I love Val Kilmer. This is saying something.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. Right now it's a rumor, it's not confirmed, so we'll see. Disney Plus is not the only streaming service out there to get upcoming new Marvel-based series.
They still have the Runaways.
You still have the Runaways, which I enjoyed more so than you did. We've talked about that before.
That's right.
But we have two new Marvel series coming to Hulu exclusively. One is Hellstrom, and the other one is Ghost Rider. Now, essentially,
Not Johnny Blaze.
No, it is not. Essentially, this version of Ghost Rider looks to be just a continuation, or as you said, a spin-off of the version of Ghost Rider that was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is, I mean, I enjoyed the Robbie Reyes character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I'd be curious to see what they go with this in terms of its own series. So.
I want Nick Cage back.
No, we don't need him doing that.
Yes, you do.
You need a picture of him pissing flame on the side of the road?
Yeah. Say what you will, that movie is a lot better than people give it credit for.
It has a cult following. I will give it that.
It has a weird charm to it, which is what it's supposed to be.
But don't most Nicolas Cage movies have that though? Some weird ass charm that for some reason brings us back.
I wouldn't say all, but yeah.
Most of them.
But I'm just saying, look at what Ghost Rider was.
Mm-hmm.
Horror comic book camp. What was that movie?
Oh, okay.
To hear him talk about how he's the spirit of vengeance. And have that whole monologue with a graspy voice.
Yeah.
That's the fucking comic.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. Then I think you would probably be more inclined to check out Hellstrom. This is actually based off a character from the Ghost Rider comic books. And it was tied to the Vampire Knights storyline, I believe. So it's supposed to be a horror-themed
Does it
series.
have Nick Cage?
No, it does not. That's all I'm going to get. Is Nick Cage? No. All right. We'll have to see what those...
Nick Cage? If the answer is no, you have your answer.
All right. Fair enough. So we'll have to see what happens with all that later on. I think probably late next year for all of that. In video game news, Earthworm Jim is coming back. A brand new game is in development, starring most of the
not going to work.
Developers from the original Earthworm Jim game, which is back in like 1995. I thoroughly enjoyed the first.
I love
Earthworm
Earthworm Jim. Jess can attest to this. I used to watch the cartoon show and have the action figures.
Yep. I remember watching the cartoon show. I played the original one on Sega Genesis with my friend, and then it came out later on Super Nintendo. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
It was always on Super Nintendo.
Okay, it first came out on Genesis, so we have a sequel coming out. Awesome, looking forward to it. Not how this is coming out.
Not gonna work.
No, this is not gonna work at all.
And then 2 years come out and an actual normal console as DLC.
We'll just wait for that one when it comes out. The reason why we're talking about this is because Earthworm Jim, this new one, is going to be exclusive to the new Intellivision console, a gaming console that hasn't been around since the early 70s. So they are creating a new console that should be taking place with, I'm guessing they'll probably play Android games or something like that. But yeah, it's called the Intellivision Amico.
It's gonna rival your sweet Google console.
How? It's not even a console. It's apples and oranges. We've already had that discussion about that, so.
It's gonna fail, and fail hard.
Considering the Amico is going to retail for $150, and the games will cost between $3 and $8 each. No.
All right, then I'll just wait and I'll buy it when it comes out for iOS. And play that shit on my cell phone.
Or just wait for it to do the same thing that happened with, remember the PlayStation Classic? When that came out, Sony was touting it. It had all these great games. Not really. And that it was worth the $100 retail price for it. Within a month, it dropped down to $60, and now you can either buy it itself for like $30 to $35, or you get one for free at Best Buy if you buy a PS4. I wish I was joking.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so that'll come out never. But maybe the game itself will come out on something else. We'll have to see. Child's Play. I'm looking forward to the new Chucky movie.
Well, yeah, that's as fucking Mark Hamill is the voice of Chucky. But what you're talking about is the sci-fi one that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, sci-fi.
Which that's weird though, because I've recently discovered, because of Becca, like she was always like, "Hey, watch the show." Yeah, I'll look into it. Oh, this is a sci-fi original show. This is gonna be shit. Alright, this is actually pretty good. Because she's the one who told me to watch Deadly Class.
Right.
Which turned out to be really
You told
good.
me to watch that. I haven't watched that yet.
As well as she got me to watch Z Nation.
You told me that was actually pretty good for you.
I mean, it's all over the fucking place.
Mm.
But I watched it all in like 2 weeks. And it's 5 seasons, about 13 episodes, hour long.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay. All right. So what's going on here is that we have a reboot of the movies coming out. Looks fun. But Sci-Fi found a loophole in the original contract stating that because the original creator Mancini actually already previously announced a Child's Play TV series but never fully followed through with it, there was a legal precedent to have a studio create a Child's Play TV series. And they want to use this as a continuation, including some of the original cast members. I don't know. But yeah, so that's all we know
I'll
about
watch it.
this. Comes out on Sci-Fi Channel sometime in 2020, so we'll see what happens. Meanwhile, the new Child's Play reboot comes out in what? October?
I mean, Jess watched them all in October, so.
That's true.
Right? Chucky, Child's Play, you watched all of them this last October, right?
Yeah. That's gonna be it for this episode. Anything else we need to bring up?
No, I'm trying to think what we can talk. We can mention, be like, hey, we'll talk about this next time.
I mean, we
Don't
have
know.
upcoming movies that we're gonna talk about eventually when we go see. When we finally go to.
I mean, shit. The next
Star
time,
Wars
the next
Land?
time we come back, we'll probably have. No, Star Wars Land's in June. No,
In June, yeah.
we have
So
time
we
for
have
that.
we have time for that one. Yeah.
At best, I think the next time we record, it's like, cool, Godzilla's coming out next week, and we just saw John Wick. Yay.
We'll talk about those. We'll see what happens with all of that. But thank you guys for watching us. As always, for Geeks and Drinks, I'm Jason. Cheers, Internet.